Good evening, everyone. Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm actually the teen librarian at Rocky River Public Library. I'm taking over the co-hosting duties for my colleague Nicole. If you've joined any of these past events, you've probably seen her. But I'm filling in for her. So I would like to thank everybody for being here. We've got a full house from Bike Cleveland today, don't we? We're gonna, I kind of got a little behind the scenes peek at their setup. So we are expecting a great presentation. If you've got questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll be co-hosting. I'll be keeping an eye on that for everyone. And without that's all I really have to say. And I hope you enjoy this program. Delatrice, are you ready? Do I need to keep rambling for you? Because I will.
No, we are ready. Hello.
Awesome. Thank you.
Welcome to Bike Smarts tonight. And I am Delatrice, and I have here Maggie. And we are going to talk to you today about commuting by bike. So we're so glad you're here. As you mentioned, Megan is also going to be helping behind the scenes, and so am I going to be helping behind the scenes right now as well. So we're just going to get started by introducing ourselves really quick and helping you get started by bike. So Megan, I'll let you go first and take it away.
Thank you, Delatrice. So I'm Maggie Stumple. I'm with the Bike Brexville. We're a local chapter of Bike Cleveland. And if you're out in the suburbs, you see the temptation to ride your bike for a quick trip to go shopping, or maybe it's a nice day out, you want to ride your bike to school, and you're feeling like, hey, how do I get started doing this? And you're thinking about, you know, what am I missing? How is it different than just like a quick trip? So today we're going to go over maybe some of the gear you're interested in. And of course, first of all, we will start with our bike. So don't think you got to go out there and buy some big, fancy, expensive bike. Contrary, you want something that maybe isn't going to tempt people, right? So something kind of understated. Maybe you know it's a great bike, but it doesn't scream, take me. So along those lines, we will talk about bike lots later. But first of all, when you're looking for a good bike, you want something with a light frame so that you can carry it around. If you do need to put it up on a car or maneuver it into a bike rack. So something light, sturdy, thick tires. Nobody wants a flat on their commute, but be prepared in case you do get one. So thick, nice tires. Some other things you may want to consider. Not every day is 78 and sunny in Cleveland, Ohio. And sometimes we have a bit of rain and maybe you're on a limestone path or something with a little bit of mud. So a fender on your bike tire is always a bonus. That'll go on your back tire. And then it'll help you avoid getting that skunk mark on your back. I was out in the Metro Park yesterday and I saw a young couple with big white stripes down their back. And I said, oh, you wouldn't have happened to have been riding on the towpath, were you? And they're like, oh, how'd you know? I said, well, the large strip of mud on your back. So fenders help with that. So basically a light, sturdy bike, you want to be well lit. So your local bike shop, you can get inexpensive battery operated lights, or you can get these great USB charging lights. So when they wear out, you just plug them into your laptop and charge them up. And these fit easily on the back. You want a light on the front. It should be a bright white light, and on the back should be red. And of course, always wear your helmet, even for short trips, okay? And then as far as gear, you want to be visible, all right? As visible as possible. So here in my bag, what I have here, I'm going to show you the contents. So a little suspense, what's in Maggie's bag? It's sort of like Hermione's bag. It's kind of like bottomless, right? But first you get a nice rack on the back. I had a local bike shop install this for me. They did a wonderful job. And then this just clips right on. And then this is like magic. My daughter and I, she was home from college, and we went on an overnight camping trip. And these came in handy, but this is also great if you're going shopping, have some school supplies. Maybe you're going to work, have something, you know, after work you want to do. These come out of the sides and they're called panniers. And then you just Velcro them to the sides of the carrier, and then they don't flap in the wind. So what's in my bag here? I have a high vis vest. You can get these almost anywhere because of where I work. I mean, I picked these up at Fastenal. Got a nice discount, nice work discount. In case you do have to change a flat or something, I've got wipes, hand wipes. Nobody wants dirty hands. And then maybe just avoid getting your hands dirty altogether. A little pair of gloves. All right, bike pump. And then a bike tire, a spare tire. This one is one that I'd gotten a flat in and then I patched it. So it's sort of like having that spare tire in your car. It's like one you don't really want to use, but if you're in a desperate situation, you'll use it for a short distance. And speaking of patch kit, here's a patch kit to patch a hole. And then you have a tool here. What are these called, Deltrees?
Tire levers.
Tire levers. So this will help you as you're changing your tire. Now that's almost like a whole class, is changing your bike tire. And we can help you with that. You know, I threw a wrench in here just in case, but really Allen wrenches are really the best tool. This will cover you on most things. So you can adjust your seat height. You know, maybe somebody borrowed your bike and the seat's too high, too low. You can adjust here, make minor adjustments on your bike. And I think, wow, I mean, I think that's it. And then this actually has a strap. So then when you want to say you've got your wallet, something valuable in here, you just pull it off, put the strap on, and it's just like having a bag or a purse. So that's what was in my bag. Now, Tree, did I miss anything?
No, that's good. I wanted to just make sure that people saw everything in this bag. I stay out the main camera.
Okay, there's that. Oh, and then as far as racks, so I had the bike shop install this one, but this is kind of an easy, and then you can take it on and off. It's not like permanently on your bike. And it just wraps around, you know, under the seat here. It's not as sturdy. I got to tell you, the permanently mounted one is much more sturdy. Like this will kind of, as you're riding, sometimes go like this. But in a pinch, it does the trick, and it has these great rubbery things here that to hold down
So they
things.
like install built-in bungee cords.
Yeah, they're like built-in bungee cords. And speaking of bungee cords, you don't always have to put, you know, say a bag like this. Maybe you just put your package on the back and bungee cord it. I mean, just due to what's your level of, you know, comfort with how it's attached on the back. But bungee cords are always great. I should probably put a couple extra ones in there. Oh, and then you can have a front one too. So if you have things that you just want easy access to, you can put your bag on the front. So you can have one in the back with your panniers and then a bag in front. So here I've got my gloves. So it's always good to have eye protection. So your helmet, eye protection, and then gloves for your hands. Kleenex. I mean, we've all been there on the road, right? I mean,
Snotty noses is not
you
funny.
really don't want to be doing one of these if you can help it. So Kleenex is good. And of course, the aforementioned bike lock. So I've got Kleenex, I've got my bike lock, I have a plastic bag in case it starts raining and I want to keep something dry. And I usually keep my cell phone in my front bag. Okay, and then lots of rain here. Deltrees, you have a beautiful jacket here. This is also reflective. So this will reflect light, really high visibility, going to keep you dry. And then
Helmet cover.
helmet cover so that your hair doesn't get wet.
Yes, because you know, with the helmets, they have the holes in it for ventilation, but when it's raining, you want to not get wet. So having something to cover your head, your helmet, cover your body, and even cover your shoes if you would like. Just you're gonna get wet, but you want it to dry quickly and you maybe don't want it wet. So this is right here is a book bag. So just in case you don't have a pannier here, like Maggie mentioned, that you don't have to go out and purchase new stuff, you can carry what you have. So if you already have a backpack that goes on your back, will go over the backpack. And you want to make sure you put your high visibility reflective material over your backpack and put your lights over. So you see here, I have the lights here in the little pocket here in the bag because you want to be visible. So if you have a jacket or anything like that, make sure you put your jacket on first, then put your book bag on, and then put your reflective cover over that.
Very good. And I don't know if it's pinning.
It is, I can.
Oh, it is? Okay,
Mhm.
perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, so I covered this.
Oh, I see. Yours is not. I pinned it over here. Oops. Did pin. Both pins.
Okay. So I don't know.
We're good. It's always, you know, sorry, y'all can see the back of this light. You know, whenever you have electronics, you're always bound to have some form of technical difficulties. We're gonna work right through it. And we're glad you're here anyway. You know, make sure you drop any questions or comments you have in the chat and we'll make sure we'll check it out.
Oh, and then, I mean, we could cover some of the other things like the drink holders.
You know.
So if you've got the screw holders here, you can add water bottle holders, drink holders. You know, it is helpful to have a chain cover. I don't here. And then reflectors, lots of reflectors on your bike along with your bike lights. You really want to be seen. And also a nice polite bell, should you be passing somebody out there on the road. A little less alarming than, you know, hey, you know, someone screaming as they come up behind you. So bells are great. I think I pretty much have this outfitted. And then before you get on your ride, of course, do a quick ABC quick check. And again, that's like a whole other class onto itself, but you're basically, you know, checking your air, checking your brakes, your chain, your cogs, just anything visibly wrong. And then you're gonna do your quick disconnects, make sure that they're down. So like say you don't want this out, you want this nice and flat so you don't lose any wheels while you're out there. And then if you have a seat, this one doesn't, but if you have a seat disconnect, you want to make sure that's secure. And then go for like a little quick spin in the driveway before you get on the road. And did I say brakes? And check your brakes if they're working okay. So shopping, like anything in particular to think about. So you can have a backpack, you can have the carrier here, and in the front, you got your bike lock. So should we pause for questions or
Let me see,
what do you think?
Questions really quick, not yet. But I would say though that, and then you mentioned about the helmet, right? It's always important to make sure you have a helmet that goes on your head. You did mention that, right?
Yes,
You
yes.
did. Okay, good. Helmet. If we're mentioning it multiple times because it's very that important.
It's extremely that important.
This is not an English class, this is a bike class, but we really stress to you multiple times to wear a helmet. So that's all I wanted to stress today, is to wear a helmet. And so basically what we really just went over is all the essential products that you need for riding a bike. So you have your gear, or let me show you, oops, almost, because it's over here. You have your pannier, your bags, you carry your regular book bag, and you can, anything that you have, you don't need to go out and buy something specific. However, I did. When you commute on a regular basis, you want to find things that is comfortable for you. So this is something, it is a Ortlieb bag. I know of some brands, but name brands, but that's what this one is, an Ortlieb bag, and it's convertible. So what it is which I used it today, I can wear it as a backpack. So put it on, I wear the backpack. Then I can also take this off and use it as a pannier, which is again, the versatility. So the straps here, the book bag straps will go in this pocket right here in the front of it. Not gonna do it right now, it will go in there. But then this will clip on. I hope you see it in the camera, because I took that one off, I turned that one off.
Okay.
But you will adjust it. There's some straps right here. There's some straps. You make it to your size. It comes in the package when you buy it, but it will just go like,
Oh,
it will go in there. And then there you go.
That is so cool.
You have
Okay.
it.
I'm gonna have to lift it up.
Okay, let's do this.
You guys have to see this.
Oh, you're gonna lift it all the way up?
Oh, yeah, look at that. Wow, okay, I'm getting one of those. That's settled. I'm getting it. Send me the link.
So it's like, you can actually go to your local bicycle shop, here in Cleveland.
They know you well.
Cleveland, and purchase that. If you're a Bike Cleveland member, perhaps you may get a small discount, such as 10 or 15% off products. I can't really confirm right now because each bicycle shop is different, but use your discounts, use coupons if you have them, and support your local bicycle shop. So this is that. So this is your products that you
And
have.
if you aren't a Bike Cleveland member already,
Join
this is
today.
another reason to join today.
Join today. So, yeah, these are all your products that you need to ride a bike comfortably. Use your bike that you have your rack, you have your items to carry your rack, and now you are ready to go, right?
We
Now,
have a
you
question.
are commuting to,
We do have a question
sure,
in the
yes.
chat. Someone would like to know if either of you use a mirror on your helmet or on the bike handles. A mirror.
That is a great question. Having a mirror on your bike helmet or on your bike in general, which is good. To answer the question for me, myself, now everyone is different and it's quite all right. I personally do not use a mirror. I really tried. I tried putting the mirror on my helmet, the iFish. I tried to put the mirrors on. You can even put a mirror on the end of a road bike. You can put it on the end of a hybrid bike. It just doesn't work for me. So I'm not the right person to ask about mirrors. How about you, Maggie? Do you use mirrors? Do they work for you?
I see a lot of people with mirrors that are using them, I assume successfully and correctly. It's just too much for me, like too much stuff going on. Like you just practice looking back and scanning and not doing this, right? So just practice, take your hand maybe off the handlebar if you need to, but like this, just scan, signal, scan again, and then go. But there are people out there, I mean, they have, GoPros on their helmet, they've got all kinds of stuff going on. Personally, I have not used that.
Yes, so that is good. And
Or not
personally,
used mirrors.
I've tried. Maybe it's just the way everyone's brain works inside. It just does not work for me. I definitely tried. But to mention about cameras on your bike, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I do use cameras on my bike, but also I make sure that I'm still hands-free. So if you didn't notice that I'm kind of a techie girl, I'm always having something techie. But also make sure you want to mount your devices on your bike or mounted on your person so you can still have your hands free. Now you can go and purchase, they make anything and everything, right? So you can go and purchase, they make combination lights and cameras at the same time. Cyclic is the brand, CYCLIQ, I believe, Cyclic, like that. So a pretty penny, right? But is it worth it? I personally say if you do a lot of commuting, and if you are getting a lot of close calls, your life is pretty important. And I would say that's important enough that you want to record and document your commutes. So that's what you can look into that camera. Now they may have another brand also, but Cyclic is the brand that I know most.
Okay, yes, so any other questions out there? Okay, and I'm just gonna.
Sorry, yes. Can you repeat the name of that bag that you had, and maybe I'll drop it in the chat or.
Oh, the Ortlieb bag, everyone likes this bag, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if, the light is going off. Oh, you can't see? Okay, focus, not working. Ortlieb, I'll spell it. ORTLIEB. Oh, and it says waterproof right there at the top. So again, I purchased this specifically for a trip that I was going on an airplane for. And I did not want to carry extra luggage. And I wanted to directly get off of the plane, get on my bike and go. It didn't work for me that way because I couldn't find the path. So I still had to get on the train. However, this bag really came in handy and I've used it ever since. And to me, this is a worthwhile investment. You want to think about things that you invest. I personally use my hybrid bike as my commuter bike. So it looks, it feels and looks like a car with the rack, with the trunk. This is considered my trunk. Even though these particularly, right here, these type of bags, these styles of bags are considered a trunk bag because again, they go right here on the trunk. So these the style, but I like to use my bike and I consider it my car because I haul stuff. I even have a trailer on it. And that's another way of carrying things on your bike. But usually when you're commuting, you're really not trying to haul stuff, right? But if you're going to the grocery store or whatnot, you might want to haul more stuff. So you can attach a hitch either to the seat post of your bike or through the axle on your rear wheel, and it'll come whatever brand of hitch trailer that you purchase, it'll come with it. So you can invest into that. But that's something, again, if you think about how much you're going to use it for, how much you're going to use it, and then if that's a price, if it's within your budget. So for me, I purchased one and I like it. Do I go grocery shopping with it? No, but I do go to the beach with it. I do go to the park with it. And I do put my lawn chair in it, all kinds of stuff. So the thing is, what our goal is today is to show you how you can really go anywhere on two wheels. You just have to carry and plan. So with all these items here, these are really the essentials and the tools you need and the products to get your bike outfitted together. Then it's time to go on a bike ride. So you want to practice. So if you are going to work, you decide you want to commute to work, try a commute on a day you don't have to work so you can practice. So for example, if you work Monday through Friday, try it on a Saturday. Now keep in mind that when you do try it on a Saturday, the traffic is going to be different than the Monday through Friday, but you can still get a gauge of how long it's going to take you to get there. Maybe you can find another shortcut or alternate routes, but definitely practice beforehand. So you definitely want to do that. You don't really need to carry all your stuff for the practice, but at least you still want to practice. Another thing you might want to do is if you drive to work on a normal basis, take your items to work already while you're in the car, so that you can already have your stuff in there. So if you go to work on a Monday and you say you want to ride your bike at least 3 days out that week. So take with you on that Monday your items for those 3 particular days. So that's one less thing that you have to carry on your bike when you get there, but then you're already there to work. Plan to arrive to work at least 10 minutes earlier than your scheduled shift time because you're gonna be hot. You are gonna be hot.
You are gonna be a little hot. Unless you have like an electric bike.
If you have an electric bike,
Maybe you'll be less hot.
you'll be less hot, but you're gonna be hot. You're gonna feel good though, and you're gonna be ready to start with the workday, but you're gonna be hot and sweaty. So you wanna give time to let your body cool down and decompress. That's what I say about 10 minutes. Now, if you are always running late and you don't have those 10 minutes, that's fine too, but just you want to.
What it is.
It's what it is. You just want to plan and prepare. So that's what I would do. That's what I used to do is get to work beforehand, decompress. You know, your coworkers are like, "Are you crazy? Did you ride your bike?" Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. In all types of weather. That's why we're showing you, which could have been needed today because of the weather, but like rain and reflective gear, because when you have to get to work, you have to get to work. Your supervisor is not going to care that it's raining, snowing, or sleeting. They want you there. So if maybe the bicycle is your primary mode of transportation, you have to get there. Or you just want to be a bad person and get out there on your bike, you just get out there. But those are two things. You want to add?
Yeah, I was thinking also if you have, maybe you're kind of working up to doing the whole round trip, if you have access to, a bike, or maybe, you know, a friend or spouse that wants to take you home, you know, sometimes you just go one way. Maybe you get dropped, you know, take the bus with the bike, carrier on the front. I'm not sure if they got a fancy name for that, but basically the RTA where you can have your bike on there. Or, you know, carpool with somebody with a bike rack. I mean, you don't necessarily have to do there and back. You could break it up.
Very good question. I'm really glad you brought that up, because for me, my commute from my home to Bike Cleveland right now is 30 miles, right?
Wow.
It's 2 hours. Do I really want to ride my bike for 2 hours? I don't mind it, but do I really want to ride my bike for 2 hours before I start my work shift? Not really, but I will hybrid quite often. I will ride my bike to my closest RTA station on bus stop. Put my bike, as you mentioned, on the front of the bike ride all the way to Cleveland, courtesy of RTA, get off at Public Square, and then go ahead and ride the rest of the way over the bridge to Bike Cleveland. So again, I don't ride the whole 30 miles. If I wanted to, I can, but I don't. So keep in mind with yourself that you don't have to also ride the whole time, because then you might want to get discouraged. You're like, I don't want to do this again. And you're getting the fun out of riding bikes, and riding bikes should be a fun experience.
Exactly. It should be fun. You should get the blood pumping, you know, clear your head. I get some of my best ideas, solve a lot of problems when I'm riding my bike out in the woods, you know. But you know, you don't want to be exhausted and you don't want it to be like a job, right? So this is meant to be fun. It's an alternative. Now, granted, some people, you know, they have car problems, or I mean, we had a spell there where we were down to one car, a family of 5 with one car. So when one of us is at work, the other person was biking. And thankfully, by the time winter came around, we had another car, but it was a great stopgap. You know, it was a great holdover, fill in that gap. The weather was nice. I was working up the road. It wasn't a big deal. So bikes can be necessary too. I mean, you know, sometimes they're just for fun, but sometimes you really need the wheels to get someplace.
Yes, and it is definitely faster than walking. So you have your 2 wheels or even your 3 wheels if you have a tricycle. Again, as Maggie mentioned in the beginning, any bicycle will work. Whatever bicycle that you're comfortable with. If your bicycle does not have a built-in rack, like she mentioned, have one outfitted on your bicycle. They make all different types of racks, and you can just get it on, but be leery of this time, like she mentioned. Be very leery. If you're not going to carry a whole bunch of stuff, this could work for you. But in my experiences, when I first started getting into biking, and yeah, you see the story. Like, yeah, put this on.
It's easy. It's inexpensive. I mean, what? Come on.
Well, until you start using it, and that's how you find the things that you find to be your favorites and what works, because it's tried and true. You used it, and you're like, I like this, I don't like this. So from experience, this really is not your best option if you're really trying to commute by bike, just because it's not. So
I agree.
Keep it to the side.
I agree.
But she did mention a fender to you, as she mentioned, like, I do see too, when I see people riding the bikes, I'm like, you gotta just start with that. So this is one, it's kind of a clip on. I didn't want to lose the screws here, so that's why it's there. But again, it just kind of clips on to your seat post. And they even make it even more easier, like a clip on with that. You can really clip on. So I strongly would invest with one in a clip-on fender. They make different sizes. This one, it looks, if you like, this is a fat fender. It is, and it does go on a fat bike. So that's why it's fatter, or a mountain bike. But they make them skinnier, and this is okay. And I think, let me see. We got, again, you got your tools that you need. Every bicycle ride, your AC quick check before you go. You got your bike, you got your products, your accessories that you need. You go on your practice ride on a Saturday or a Sunday. You have your plan Bs, plan Cs. So either you're gonna take the bus one way or get a ride. If you are here in the greater Cleveland area, where Nowaka or North, I'm not gonna even try.
Northern Ohio area, what's the C?
That's why I said I'm not even gonna try. Nowaka.
Agency.
Yes.
Is in there somewhere too.
So Cuyahoga, Lorraine, the counties that NOACA service, right? It's like top 5 counties that NOACA service. And what they have a reimbursement program for if you go out and you're riding your bike and it's like a breakdown service. But again, I want to reiterate that it's reimbursement. So you do have to like join beforehand and make sure like you're in the system. But they will reimburse you up to a specific amount for if you need a way home. So if you get your bike and you are all going to work and then you come out of work and now you have a flat tire, and for some reason you just forgot your tools, right? So now you have a flat tire, you still need to get home. You can get reimbursed through the program that NOACA has. So look into that. And then look into AAA. They have roadside service. If it's here in this market, I can't answer that right now. I don't think it is, honestly, but I'm sure it could be coming soon. But AAA is a nationwide service. That's why you could be watching this video outside of Cleveland. So I just wanted to mention that. Look into that. But like I said, it could be coming in soon. And then also look into your vehicle roadside service. Some vehicles will actually also tap on a bicycle roadside service. So we've been coming around, bikes are evolving, and people are being aware that you have to get home, and it is a primary mode of transportation for some. So take advantage of these tools and resources that are available to you, and just be aware of them beforehand, so you less stress when the situation comes and you're like, what to do. You can be like, oh, I know what to do, and it's just less stress.
Deltrice, are there some maybe videos that people can watch to sort of prepare themselves and maybe learn how to ride in traffic?
Absolutely, thank you for mentioning that. The League of American Bicyclists is a national organization that encourages and supports and wants everyone really to ride bikes safely. So due to, we all know what happened in 2020, right? And we had to take everything virtually and watch, just like we're doing now on TV, YouTube, whatever device you have, right? The League of American Cyclists now have an online learning center, which is absolutely free. My favorite word is free. So you can take bite-sized information of all types of videos from all types, just like she mentioned, all types of videos. But if you want to figure out how to get a little bit more comfortable beyond what we're sharing with you today, go ahead and look at www.learn.bikeleague.org. And you can also find that information on our Bike Cleveland website as well. But if you go to bikeleague.org, you can also see it there. But it is a free service and it's very beneficial. I have taken, even though I do know how to ride bikes, but I still take the information because you never know what you can learn, and keep also classes like this, which is free. Don't be afraid to register and sign up for other classes that you see that bicycle shops or bicycle retailers are hosting, because you can also get a wealth of information from the presenter and also from participants in the class.
Yes, exactly. And I enjoy the videos on the League of American Bicyclists because it's always good review. I mean, just changing lanes, the ABC quick check is on there, and just great refreshers, how to fit your bike helmet is probably on there. Just real great, easily digestible, bite-sized videos. I mean, they're like 3 minutes maybe.
Yes.
And I watch them a couple times, actually.
They're nice. They're really well put together as well. And we hope that even as today, with our production here, we hope that you enjoy the presentation and information that we're sharing with you today, because we want to see you succeed and ride your bike as well. Because truly enjoy riding my bike. I truly enjoy riding my bike in the rain. The very first time I rode my bike in the rain, it was commuting to work. That's where I was doing. And I truly felt like I got to work faster. Maybe I didn't mentally, because I looked at my Strava and that was a couple years ago, but I just felt like the rain and maybe the oil on the road, you know, because it's slick from the cars. I got to work. I was like, yeah. I was like, it's raining. I'm like, yeah.
You slid off.
So, you know, find your joy. And I like, ever since then, I've been hooked. I'm like, it's raining, let's go. Of course, do not ride your bike in thunderstorms. No, that's not safe for anybody. But rain is not gonna hurt you. Cold rain, yeah, it might be cold. Other than that, rain is good. So just plan, prepare, have your items, you know, have your dry items, have your, please don't wear cotton. Okay, well, maybe you can wear whatever you like to wear. But if you want to be comfortable, do not wear cotton, because as you know, even if you just get caught in the rain, a cotton t-shirt, you are wet and you are wet for the rest of the day, and you are just uncomfortable.
Rest of your life.
Rest of your life, baby. But again, have extra items in your workplace, at your desk, even in your car if you are really that. Like, I want to be on it and make sure that I really stay dry. I have a whole complete set of changeable clothes, because once you get into those dry clothes, you just feel so much better. And you're like, yeah, I rode my bike today. I'm good. You know, because I'm dry.
Now, what about your shoes? Do you recommend anything for the shoe covers, or do you wear like I have, like, I don't want to name any brands, but like, you know, I have shoes I can wear kayaking, right? So like they can get wet. And then there's your clip-ins and just basic tennis shoes, but those might like absorb a lot of water.
Yes.
Shoes.
Yeah, so that's another, shoes is a whole nother, yeah, well, it's just like so much entails, because you have to think about what pedals do you have, you know, do you have regular flat pedals, do you have clip-in pedals, you know, so what shoes you're gonna wear. I particularly, shoe covers, I do have those, but you know, water will get anywhere. So when your shoes are on your feet, so that's just gravity going down. So no matter what you have on, unless you have some gaiters over so the water can go off, it just seems like the water's gonna seep down in your shoes.
So maybe bring an extra pair of shoes.
Extra pair of shoes, yeah, okay, I went all over that.
Which I think might fit in here.
Or keep them at work, or even like you said, wear some specifically water shoes, like specific water shoes, especially if you're not clipped in on your pedals. I have a pair of shoes that, you know, like with the strap, they were in the men's section, but they're still good, they're still shoes, you know, and if I want to wear those, I'll wear those. And no socks, because they're the sandals, you know?
Right.
Or even specific water shoes, and I say specific, because if there's a picture of me floating around years ago where I actually wore water shoes, like,
oh, like water, like you're in the creek, like you're in
I didn't know, y'all. I didn't know. I did not have a class like this, so I did not know. I just saw other people. I'm like, oh, it's okay. There's water shoes on. No, don't, unless you want to, but that's quite all right. And it wasn't even raining that day.
No judgment.
But the purpose is like continue to attend free workshops like this, learn from other people, and even go on group rides. I've also learned so much. Do you feel the same way?
Oh yeah.
When you go on group rides, you talk to other people and you learn things as you learn.
Or you just watch them. I mean, you just observe, you know, like that's the best way to see like what kind of gear, you know, what are people doing, and just watching them. So you can ask them like questions directly, but usually I'm just like, oh yeah, she's got it figured out. You know? Oh, I see, I got it now.
But that I agree, asking questions, then you won't be walking around with water shoes like I did, because I was just observing. But
well, okay, yeah, then maybe qualify that. We're just gonna call it Del Trees, you know.
Would you guys like to field a couple questions we've got?
Yes, we're all set now.
We're making up our own questions over here.
Well, the pressure's off. We've got two questions. The first one, I'm gonna ask them out of order because the second one is weather related, like you've been talking about. So they ask, when the weather's raining like this, how often do you need to clean or maintain your bike chain and mechanical parts. They've been riding in fair weather, but the rain has made them nervous about the maintenance. So do you have any extra maintenance tips for bad weather? That's
Yeah,
question one.
excellent question, and thank you for bringing that up. And that is a very good point that you bring up, because absolutely, the water is such a beautiful element, but it's also destroying at the same time. So it can definitely destroy your chain, rust it out, get into the cable gears and rust it out. So definitely when you are riding your bike and say you do ride home, a lot of times most people will not mind the rainy, wet ride home because now you're just going home, but they do mind it in the morning going to work. But the thing is, once you are done with your ride, you are gonna want to dry off your chain and then oil it, because then the water's just there and it could get rusty. So make sure you purchase a specific oil for your bicycle chain. Please don't use cooking oil or WD-40. I mean, it does say oil, but you want a specific oil for your bicycle. You can pick that up at any local bicycle shop and pick up oil for your bicycle. You definitely want to dry it off. And the reason why you see me going backwards, I hope it's just switched in the camera, but going backwards, because you can have your bicycle like this. I can't do it right now because it's on the stand. But if you have your bike, for example, in a stand or upside down, right? If you move your pedals backwards, then your bike does not move. Because you think about it, when you're on the bike and you try to move it forward, the bike is going to move. But if you move the pedals backwards, then it doesn't move. So make sure your bike is either in a stand or upside down. Move it backwards. Make sure you have a cloth. I'm going to pretend like this is a cloth right here. You make sure you have a cloth and go backwards. So you want to, this way, I have the other thing, I shouldn't be doing that. You want to have it, I turned it off. Okay. You want to have it, and I'm gonna pretend like this is the chain right here, okay? You want to have it like that and go backwards. Is that a good visual? We're going to show you. There you go. We're going to show you. Am I in the way? Okay, here I go. So you want to have it like this, and you see backwards. You see the wheel is not moving because I'm going backwards. But you want to wipe it off, and then you want to put your oil on, and then again, make sure you lube your chain. So that's one thing you want to have. Now, as far as specific mechanics, I definitely, sorry. Okay, go need to see if I'm going backwards. You can put it back in the stand. Okay, there we go. Okay. Definitely want to, anything specific mechanical, definitely have a great relationship with your local bicycle shop and take it in.
They should know you by name.
That's a, yes, that's a good way of putting it. They really should know you by name, especially because you think about it. Especially if it's your primary mode of transportation, you want to make sure it's in tip-top order. So like if you are a regularly car driver and something happens to your car, you take it in. Same thing with the bike. But some things you can do at home. So you don't need to take your bike into the shop just so they can clean and chain clean and lube your chain. You can do that yourself. You got it. The second part of the question, wait, was that it? Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. But there's
then there's another question. And I have lost track of it in the chat, but I remember what it was. The participant is asking about trailers for kids and running errands that might be able to accommodate bigger kids. She said most of the ones that they've seen are like for toddlers, and they have a 6 and a 3-year-old who aren't ready to run errands with them on their own bikes. But do you know of so do you have a recommendation for a larger trailer?
Let me answer this.
Well, there are larger trailers. You might also want to consider even a whole different bicycle though, because they do make, and this is a bicycle I like, that you see like over in the Dutch countries a lot, where like a cargo bike, but the cargo is in the front of the bike, so it's like a box. It can be kind of wonky in the beginning because you have all your weight in the front, but I do see that quite often. It literally is like a wooden box. Perhaps you want to put some padding in there so they be comfortable in there, but that's what I see. And so listening to those ages you mentioned, That's where I would go with, because you could have a trailer that goes on the back, but then they're gonna outgrow it, and then a lot of times, I mean, that's good for the trailer too, but they have a covering over it, right? And which is good, but they could be hot. I remember I did trail my children when they were younger, and I always was concerned, because even though there's a mesh, I'm like, they seem so hot back there, because it's just like kind of enclosed, but we didn't stay in there too long with that. But definitely look into a different type of bicycle with that, because the only trailer would be the back, or even, yeah, look at
Just a
different
different
bike.
bike on.
Yeah, because even if they do make bigger trailers, the thing is, your children are just growing up bigger, and they're just gonna outgrow that. And then again, that's, you got like a big old something behind you trying to trail, and it might be challenging to navigate. But look into a different bicycle. Unfortunately, these type of bicycles, like, they're just hard to carry with you unless you have a cargo van, or a van that you can take to seaside and put the whole bike in. But they're not traditional bicycles that you can just put on the back of your bike rack, on the back of your car. But definitely look into just a different type of bicycle for your older children.
Thanks. There's another question about safety lights. So in addition to safety lights, do you use a headlight, or is the safety light enough for riding when it's dusk or dark?
Okay, wait, again, sorry.
Okay, so it says in addition to safety lights, do you use a headlight or like a headlamp, I think? Or is the safety light really enough for riding when it's dusk or dark?
More lights. Or the more the better.
All the lights.
Absolutely. If you look like a Christmas tree coming down the street, you are good. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, especially at night.
Especially at night. So absolutely. There's never gonna be a time where it's gonna be like, am I doing too much on the lights? No, you're not. So some people, they do have like at least a minimum of 2 lights on their bike. And the reason why they have at least a minimum of 2, because they have one light that is like maybe straight ahead so that the incoming cars can see them. Then they have another light which is pointing down, because if you ride your bike in the city of Cleveland where there's a lot of potholes, you want to dodge them, and it's hard to see if you have your light shining in front. So you'll have another one right here.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, so have at least minimum of 2, but it doesn't matter like how many. Now, one thing I do want to mention, I want to turn this around really quick. As you see how Maggie has her light right here on her handlebar, which is great, and she has her bell. Then you also see that, okay, maybe you want to put another light on, maybe you want to put a phone holder on, I don't know, all types of stuff. But the real estate on your handlebar is just short, depending on what type of bike, especially on a road bike, it's just short, and you just can't put any more on. So in the front,
issue when I put this on.
okay,
You know what I mean? It kind of disappears.
it's just like not a lot of space. So one thing, you can take your lights in the front, you can always put it on your fork. Because again, your fork is showing, and not this one, it's red, but your fork is showing in the front. So just a little tip that you can always put your light right here on your fork, and it'll also be showing out. But also, there you go. Lights on the back, lights on your, I don't have any lights on my helmet, because there is one particular helmet that I do have. I didn't bring it today, but it has integrated lights in it. So if I know I'm riding in the nighttime or inclement weather, such as raining, and during that time, then I make sure I wear that helmet, because I just plug it in, let it charge up, and then push on the button, and then I have integrated lights there. So lights on my helmet, lights on your handlebar, lights on your fork, reflective gear, and just lights and lights.
Yeah.
But you are never gonna be too much with light up.
I think we answered that question.
Yeah, and so take advantage of organizations, I mean, that maybe give away free lights from random places or whatever, or you at the store and you're shopping and you go to the clearance section and you buy lights, you never know. Because also, now this light particular could be a challenge just to like quickly take off, but most of the time, lights are really like a real easy installation. So if it's an easy installation, it's also easy to take off. So you don't want no one to steal your stuff, because there's thieves out there and they're gonna take anything and everything just because that's what they do. So you want to take off your accessories on your bike, wherever you are, take it off. And so as Maggie mentioned, like especially on a bicycle, on a trunk rack like this, it comes with a strap, because the manufacturers are aware that you want to take your stuff with you. So just throw your stuff in the bag, put that strap on, go ahead inside, do your shopping or have your meeting or whatever.
Your class.
Yes. Okay, all right, so we had a lot of information to share, and we hope that this is good information, a refresher for some, and new information for some also, that motivates you to get out on two wheels and ride your bike to work or to the grocery store.
Well, my favorite expression is, if I can do it, do it too.
Thank you so much. And I dropped the links to the library survey into the chat, so please take advantage of that. I dropped the links to Bike Cleveland and the NOAC, which actually it stands for Northeast Ohio Area-Wide Coordinating Agency. That's what your C was. Your C is coordinating. And then also to the American Bike League, right? Those videos. So yes, so those links are in the chat, and I don't see any other questions, but you know, people can definitely reach out to Bike Cleveland, right? You guys are here to help.
Yes,
beyond this hour-long session. So if there's no other questions, I would like to thank you all for joining us, and thank you, Maggie and Deltrice. This is great. And yeah, have a nice evening, everyone, and get out on your bike.
Yes, thank you. Happy biking.
Yeah.
Have a good evening. See you later.
Good night.